CBS 21 News begins with breaking news.
We're starting with that breaking news this morning. Emergency crews responding to a fire at the historic Broad Street Market in Harrisburg this morning. Thanks for joining us. I'm Candace Scalise. This was the scene as flames engulfed the rear of the second building. That is the structure that sits closest to 6th Street. The other half of the market was able to be saved thanks to quick action from firefighters. The building dates back to 1860 and has the distinction of being the oldest continuously operated market house in the U.S. It is home to nearly 40 vendors. Taking a live look of the scene now, you can see the walls are still standing, but that roof that you saw on fire, well, it's gone. Rubble is on the ground next to the building, and officials say, as far as they know, no one was in that building. According to officials, the call came in around 1 this morning.
Some great tactical decisions were made, and unfortunately we lost a historic landmark here in Harrisburg, but I'm sure we're already looking at what that looks like in the future.
Now traffic has been shut down in the area. The market is typically open only Thursdays through Saturdays. No word yet on how the fire started, but officials are looking through security video. You can stay with us on air and online as we continue to monitor this situation. You can head to CBS21.com for the very latest details as they become available, and we'll keep you updated throughout the morning right here.
The community is praying for them, and that we hope they can rebuild, because this is something that's needed in this neighborhood.
Just take a look at this drone video. Heartbreak in Harrisburg. Now a pile of ashes, an overnight fire destroying 160 years of history at the Broad Street Market. It was founded in 1860, and this is what's left. This is video of the flames taking over the landmark of Central PA, leaving the community to pick up the pieces. Thanks for joining us here at noon. I'm Candace Scalise. Crews battling the blaze for hours as locals mourn the loss of a staple. CBS 21's Michael Gorsigner is live on the scene in Harrisburg with the damage that's left behind and the efforts, Mike, to move forward.
Well, Candace, the best way to describe the damage: catastrophic after an early morning fire tears through the Broad Street Market. In fact, if you take a look at the front door, you can zoom in and see exactly how much damage is left behind. This is the entrance off of 6th Street. All that's left behind, no roof, just charred remains of this 150-plus-year-old building. This, as community members have been coming to take a look at the mess left behind by the raging inferno for about the past 10 hours. 40 vendors and almost 2 centuries of history in Harrisburg up in smoke, despite the pain, people coming together, vowing to rebuild this landmark. An unbelievable amount of flames pouring through the brick building at the Broad Street Market around 1 a.m. By the time Harrisburg fire crews arriving, the flames just too far advanced to make an interior attack. Despite efforts from the outside, those flames destroying most of the historical venue. Opened in 1860, the Broad Street Market, part of the fabric of this community, encompassing 2 buildings. The structure with the most damage actually was built between 1874 and 1878. That, according to the market's website. Inside, over 3 dozen vendors selling mostly food, but more than just a market, this place serving as a community spot for people to gather. Midtown without its markets, just almost too much to think about.
Complete shock. It's traumatic. It's devastating. This is like losing a relative who's been around for a really long time, like a great-grandmother, or the heart and soul of Midtown.
A market was more than a store. This was really something that kept the community together, and that's why everybody's out trying to do everything they can to help those who had businesses. We want to give back to them everything they've given back to us over the years.
What's it look?
An aerial view from Skyview 21 shows the extent of the damage to the building. While the walls are still standing, half of the roof caving in, the other half barely holding on to its integrity because of the ferocity of the flames and the worry of a roof collapse. Firefighters never even able to enter the building. Now back here live, amazingly, despite all the damage, no one was hurt. The market was open yesterday, but was scheduled to be closed until Thursday. Now the owners are trying to determine the next step. That all taking place as investigators are inside trying to determine the cause, although a lot of times when there's this much damage, it's very hard to tell where the fire originated and how exactly it started. But of course, they'll work to try and determine the next step moving forward. Live in Harrisburg, Michael Gorsigner, CBS 21 News.
Michael, thank you. Yeah, just incredible and devastating video there. We want to see what some of you guys are saying. So we went to Twitter and Facebook. Tim Ward saying terrible news to wake up to. The market is the staple of the Harrisburg area and added much of the city's charm. Sad for the community and most importantly, those who lost their small business in the fire. We also have Representative Justin Fleming saying, thank you Harrisburg Fire for the quick response. I'm thankful no one was injured in this morning's fire. My thoughts are with the vendors, staff, and their families as they begin rebuilding. And then take a look, Sean sending this photo out as we just saw from some of those videos. He says everyone in Harrisburg lost a family member last night. I've been going to the market every weekend since I moved into the city. This is horrible. And of course, reverencing the market as that family member. As we know, nobody was injured. Now, here are some photos of the fire, and you can see those flames are massive, engulfing the roof of the building. With the market being such a vital piece of Harrisburg, we would love to hear your memories. And I actually met our meteorologist, Ed Russo, at the market when I first moved here. We had coffee together. Our producers go there every Thursday and Friday for lunch. So it's personal to us, and we know it's personal to you. We want to hear from you. Share your memories with us on social media. Tag us so we can share them on air and online. And if you would like to help with the recovery and the rebuilding of Broad Street Market, you can donate through their website.
Live from Central Pennsylvania, this is CBS 21 News at 5.
150 years of history gone within hours. The Broad Street Market engulfed by an accidental overnight blaze.
Everybody just treats everybody like a good old neighbor in this neighborhood. This market matters. It's mattered for more than a century. It's a gathering place.
Yeah, the governor knows it, and you probably do too. The heartbeat of Harrisburg just turned to ashes. So tonight, your memories of the staple over the years and what's next for its legacy.
The overnight fire claiming everything but the brick of the market building, the sense of community that's rising from the rubble, and how you can help. We have team coverage tonight with an update from local officials and the outpouring of support from the community.
CBS 21's Michael Gorsinger live on the scene with everything we know so far about that fire, how it started, and what's next for Harrisburg.
Our Elise Person also live with the pulse of Central PA and the fallout of the fire.
Thanks for being here with us at 5. I'm Joel D. Smith.
I'm Jasmine Brooks. Calls to rebuild growing loud. Today, city and state leaders beginning the painstaking process of what planning will look like.
All right, CBS 21's Michael Gorsinger kicking off our coverage right now. He's in Harrisburg with that damage left behind and all those flames. Michael.
Certainly an immense amount of damage left behind by this early morning fire here at the Broad Street Market. In fact, just take a look at the highness, what used to be the roof here at the top of the market. It is indeed completely gone. Just a charred beams, a few of them is all that remain in this end of the Broad Street Market. Now the process begins to plan the rebuild. It will take significant time and effort, but city and state leaders say it will indeed happen. Flames blowing through the roof of the windows in the Broad Street Market, getting such a head start on the fire responders. The building just never stood a chance. Once the 1 a.m. flames were extinguished, catastrophic damage inside. Investigators determining a malfunctioning ceiling fan installed in 2017, the cause of the spark that ignited the building. Luckily, fire crews able to save half of the brick building and the entire stone building associated with the market. But 40 vendors out of work. Half of the 1874 built building, merely a shell. Despite the odds, Governor Josh Shapiro and local state representatives, along with the mayor of Harrisburg, vowing the historic building will be returned to its former glory.
We will rebuild it. We will rebuild the building. And we will rebuild its business.
This market matters. It's mattered for more than a century. It's a gathering place. It's a great place of great fellowship. It is a place that we love and we are excited to see rebuilt.
Now, after spending the first half of the day in Berks County dealing with a community ravaged by floods, Governor Josh Shapiro visiting the site of the fire. Despite the damage, the governor promising the Commonwealth will work to do everything in its power to help not only support the rebuild, but the vendors, some who have lost everything in the wake. Coming up on CBS 21 News at 5:30, a deeper look into that plan already being mapped out by state leaders to help foster the regrowth of the Broad Street market. Now, at this point, though the cause has been determined, no damage estimates are available for this project. The city of Harrisburg, along with the market owners, plan to actually spearhead the rebuild of this. The state going to try and chip in not only support, but money to try and bring this place back, although it will take significant time and significant money to make that happen. Live in Harrisburg, Michael Gorsuch, CBS 21 News.
The community is praying for them, and that we hope we can rebuild, because this is something that's needed in this neighborhood.
Heartbreak, as we've been talking about in Harrisburg right now, but also a hopeful look to the future. CBS 21's Elise Person live in Harrisburg with how the community is reacting to all this loss. Really an icon now gone. Elise.
Joldy, well, the history of the Broad Street Market and its prominence here in the city of Harrisburg dates back centuries. Neighbors say that the loss of this market, it's going to be felt deeply by all. Now, I say dating back centuries. This market was founded during the Civil War, and in its peak during the 1920s, the market had over 725 vendors, many of which leased outdoor space until an indoor spot would become available. So from then until now, it's served as a staple of the Harrisburg community. And today, the market houses nearly 40 vendors, and some say it's just heartbreaking to see the loss of people's livelihoods. Neighbors also say it's been really difficult coming to terms with the loss of what they call the glue to Midtown Harrisburg.
This is like losing a relative who's been around for a really long time, like a great-grandmother, or the heart and soul of Midtown.
Neighbors also say there's a resounding sense that something positive will come out of this devastating loss. In Harrisburg's fire chief, they say that the stone building as part of the market, that could be open as soon as next week, and it'll serve as the backbone of the market until they're able to get this building behind me here back up and running. For now, I'll send it back to you in the studio.
Elise Person, thank you. We asked you at home, what do you think of when you think of the Broad Street Market? And your comments have been so amazing. I'm excited to share them with you now. Check out this one from Ashley Schwartz. I want to show you this beautiful picture. Besides the vendors, we had our engagement photos there last year. And check this one from Carl Leal, my grandparents met there in the early 1920s. They were married in 1923. I worked across the street for many years, and then we used to walk there almost every week for lunch. Look at this one. My husband, as a child, around 1948, would take his wagon and carry ladies' bags home, and they would tip him. This one from Nora says, my parents selling produce many moons ago, and the cookie man would throw crumbs over to us. Every once in a while, we would have a dime and go to the 5 and 10 store to spend it. Do you remember the 5 and 10 store? All right, and let's do one more. Jeff Brady says, I worked for Kessler Meats at the market in the early 90s. So sad to hear of the fire this morning. I mean, we have so many comments, and we'll share more with you coming up in the next half hour. But for now, here are some devastating pictures of the fire. You can see the flames engulfing the roof of the brick building. With the market being such a vital piece of Harrisburg, we want to hear what you have to say. We do have continuing coverage at CBS21.com. Share your memories with us on social media and then tag us so we can share them with the community on air and online. And if you would like to help with the recovery and rebuilding of the Broad Street Market, you can donate through their website.
The community is praying for them, and that we hope we can rebuild, because this is something that's needed in this neighborhood.
So many people with that sentiment there. Heartbreak in so many parts of Harrisburg this evening after the Broad Street Market was engulfed by an accidental blaze overnight, and that's what's left. 160 years of history turned to rubble, but the community and its leaders coming together, vowing to rebuild this iconic market. Good evening. Thanks for joining us at 11. I'm Jasmine Brooks. I'm Joel D. Smith. So you keep looking at this video, and you can't believe what you're looking at right here. So much damage left behind.
Investigators determining the fire started with a malfunctioning ceiling fan installed in 2017. But by the time fire crews arrived, the flames just too far advanced to make an interior attack.
The aggressive attack from the outside sort of worked, allowing half of the building and a nearby stone building to sustain little or no damage. There's your good news.
So the market is made up of two buildings. The building that sustained the damage closest to 6th Street, and then the market closer to 3rd was not damaged.
The PA Department of Ag making the plan now to help vendors as much as they can and give everybody a second chance to rebuild. And while the physical rebuild will take time, everyone's vowing to bring it back.
When we work together, when we believe in one another, when we lift one another up, good things can happen. Broad Street Market will be back. It'll be better than ever.
So far, no damage estimates, but it will take a while. Keep in mind the old stone building, though, once again, still open for business, probably later this week.
A community wrapping its arms around the vendors left behind in this fire.
So you could even call this the heart and soul of Midtown Harrisburg. In so many ways, it was bringing family and friends together each week.
And one family we talked with called the Broad Street Market home, where their family business has survived generations.
CBS 21's Elise Person joins us now live at the scene of the fire and this family that's now trying to look towards the future. Elise.
Yeah, Joel D., earlier this evening, the Fisher family was right here where I'm standing, piecing through the rubble of what was once their family business. You can see behind me now the Broad Street Market now boarded up, but that family is still grappling with the loss of their business that stretched back decades.
Family business that we started in 1987.
Fisher's Deli and Bakery now turned to ashes.
I was overwhelmed. It was just unreal.
It's been 36 years now that we're at the market. My dad is standing right here behind me. He started this. It's our second home. It's our livelihood. We love this place. We love our customers.
The family-owned business is now just one of many vendors left picking up the pieces after Monday morning's fire at Broad Street Market.
Now, as I walked into the door, I pictured this, and I just said to her, praise the Lord, there's no bodies in there.
Through the rubble, the Fisher family is finding strides of positivity.
Everything here can be replaced, and it's like everybody's saying, we're going to come back better, good and strong.
I refuse to be negative about this whole thing. Yes, it's devastating. I could collect my insurance check. I could walk away. I could turn my back on this place, but I will not do that. I will come back.
Not everything lost in the flames.
These are the very popular cake pops that my daughter-in-laws make. My daughter-in-law, we sell about 120 of these a week. We just pulled them out of the cooler, but they're not edible. They're full of smoke. They're not edible.
Now they look towards the future.
We're going to come back full force, better than ever.
And that is the Fisher family's message to their customers. They say they've heard from a number of customers throughout the day via text, via call, some of which they didn't even know had their phone number. And to their customers, the Fisher family just says thank you. For now, I'll send it back to you guys in the studio.